No. Of course, I'm not surprised, Jenna. They have the best player alive, the best team in basketball. They're going to win a championship. However, I know other people were a little surprised, and I'm going to suggest that maybe Chris Broussard can lead it. I think basketball fans, basketball gamblers, and Broussard himself should file a class action lawsuit against the Brooklyn Nets. Because the long tail of the Brooklyn Nets failure has now infected this series. Because it has caused people to overrate the Boston Celtics. It has caused people to think the Celtics, who are a very good team, are an all-time great team because of what they did to Brooklyn. Here's the deal, Blue. Brooklyn has no rim protection. They don't run an offense, and they take terrible shots. Milwaukee has the best rim protection. They do run an offense, and they take the smartest shots. So even without Chris Middleton, even without Giannis playing really well, they can still handle Boston, who just handled Brooklyn. So here is the, because I'm not going to beat you up over this pick, Brew, because I'm going to give you an olive branch. Right now, this moment, this morning, amnesty. Like when you have warrants out from the police and they're like, hey, show up, we won't arrest you, just pay your fines. Right now, you can switch. Right now, be like, listen, the Nets have ruined me year over year, series over series. I'm not going to let it happen again. I'm going with Giannis. I'm going with the Bucks. I'm going with Milwaukee. Do you want to do that, Brew? I think you should do that. You go ahead and do that. I won't, free ride here.
First of all, if I wanted to do it, I wouldn't do it because of the way you just presented it. Wow. As if you're, the little boy. Look, come on over. I'm going to allow you to make your take. No. I knew this would be a close series. I picked Boston in 7. So I'm not surprised that Milwaukee's taking this, 1-0 lead. What I was surprised at, Nick, was how they did it. Because the defense, they gave the Celtics a taste of their own medicine. Remember how physical Boston was with Brooklyn? That's what Milwaukee did to the Celtics. And after the game, the Celtics talked about it. They kind of punched us in the face. And so Milwaukee, we know they're a good defensive team, but haven't been in the top 5 in the last 2 years. Weren't in the top 10 this year defensively. So that surprised me, holding them to 33% shooting. And the other thing was how, and I'm with Giannis. I'm with you on Giannis being the best player in the league. He was my vote for MVP. But I was surprised also at how effective he could be shooting 36% from the floor.
That's right.
I mean, I know he'd be effective defensively, but offensively, look, he shot 9 for 25, had 5 turnovers, that's right. And I would say played an excellent game.
Dominated the game.
Because his assists, exactly the 12 assists, he dominated the game. He had 7 of his assists were 3-point shots. So Boston clearly said, look, we're going to stop or slow down Giannis and make everybody else beat us. And whilst everybody else did beat them, and it'll be interesting to see if for game 2, Boston switches it up and says, look, let's play Giannis straight up. We'll live with his 32 points, but stop everyone else. Because those 7 assists, Wilds, let's say that those were 7 field goals by Giannis, made baskets. They wouldn't have been threes. Most, if not all of them, would have been only worth 2 points. So you would have won that. So it's going to be interesting. But that's what surprised me. The defense from Milwaukee, physical as it was, and Giannis being so dominant on such a bad shooting performance.
The other interesting part about Giannis's assists, Broussard, they kind of yield confidence for the other guys. All of a sudden, Bobby Porter starts getting a little hot, starts feeling himself, starts making turnaround jump shots. I was like, whoa, Bobby Porter's. Here's the other thing that I found interesting, and I'll throw this back to you, bro, and because you mentioned it. This is the quote from Jaylen Brown. They hit us in the mouth, so we've got to be ready for the next one. We talk a lot about championship resumes, and you've got championship medal. You've been through it before. The Bucks are like the calm guy in a bar fight. When everyone else is losing their mind, if you're ever in a bar fight, and you got some guy whispering in your ear like, hey, you want to take this outside? That's the guy you don't want to mess with. Like, oh, my God, you usually got cauliflower ear. Like, oh, God, the calm guy wants to fight me. That's what you don't want. And he talked about it last year, and I know it's a little bit silly. But we talked about it last year. The Bucks don't get too high. They don't get too low. They're right here. No Middleton, we're right here. No home court advantage, we're right here. Best dunk of the playoffs, sorry, John Morant, we're right here. So that's why I'd be extra scared about the Celtics in this series, Broussard. And if you want to change your pick, I too am giving you a window to change your pick.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, Broussard,
Didn't you pick Boston Wilds? Didn't you pick Boston?
I'm just saying.
So
I
are you
did, but I'm
changing
giving
your
you a
pick?
chance. No, I'm here, but
You
I'm
change
nervous.
your-
I'll
you-
stay in Boston,
Oh,
but I am nervous.
He learned his
Well,
lesson
look,
on switching it up.
Yeah, right. I am not switching my pick. Now, look, am I going to be surprised if Milwaukee wins this thing? No, they're the defending champions. But I'm sticking with the Celtics and Nick. This is a key. Boston, we talked about this before the show. The Celtics had 10 two-point field goals. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the
not an
second
accident,
fewest in playoff history. No, Milwaukee baits you into shooting a three. And they'll bet that you're not going to make enough of them to beat them. And it's interesting, again, the Celtics have got to make threes because a lot of them were open. But they shot what they shot. They shot 36%, and that's what they typically shoot from three, whether it's the playoffs or the regular season. So they're going to have to hit threes at a better clip than they normally do to win this series. But I'm betting Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, assuming that hamstring doesn't bother him too much, are able to play a much better game, and they can win game two and make this thing a series.
A couple quick points here. First one is, it is not lost on me that Wilds was ready to call the Giannis dunk one of the best dunks in playoff history, but not the Ja dunk.
It was.
And it is not lost on me that Wilds is very lucky that it was Friday night and we're not on until Monday morning that his beloved Timberwolves blew another double-digit fourth-quarter lead because, as Broussard said, they are dim-witted and they do not know what they do not know. I watched that entire game. I was like, man, Brew kept calling these guys dumb, and it's so funny watching them play and then prove him correct. Second point on the Giannis dunk. I actually think with that that's like whenever he does it, it's like, oh, wow. I feel like he could do that a lot. I feel like that should be a drawn-up play.
You're right.
The Giannis lob it to yourself off the backboard play feels to me like it's available to them. But here's why Boston should be in real trouble or should feel really nervous. They started this series down 2-0 because Giannis is worth 2 wins of greatness, 40-plus point games. Lock it in. Now they're down 3-0 because he didn't have one of those games. So that, to me, if you're Boston, you only have one game in the series that you can lose that isn't because Giannis just kicked your teeth in, and they already lost it. That, to me, is really concerning. If I'm Boston, is that there was only you could only lose 3, and I think Giannis is going to beat you by himself twice. So in my head, Boston's down 3-0. No one's ever come back from down 3-0. That's why Bruce should change his pick.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.